I am the Molson Canadian drinking, Tim Hortons eating, hockey missing, hardcore Canadian Peter H.
Well, there's always baseball playoffs and pro wrestling to watch instead. And speaking of which, our other guest on the line is accomplishing great things in pro wrestling yet again. Last time we talked to him, he was the Impact Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Now he's the Impact Division Champion. Welcome back to the show, the one and only Jermaine Johnson.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I wish I had as cool as an intro as Peter H. I'll work on that in the future. Stevie, good to hear from you, man. Let's get this rolling.
Yes, absolutely. You've been doing great things in the Impact Zone, and for those who haven't kept up with it on Go Fight Live like they're supposed to, why don't you tell everybody how you became the new Impact Division Champion?
All right, well, as in most feds, IZW is ran by a evil commissioner. Her name is Erica, and she placed the Impact Division champion at the time, Damian Morte, in a bad predicament, making him defend his championship in a battle royal, a 10-man battle royal, which I was a participant in. I ended up being the last man standing, ousting a lot of top-tier talent like Kyle Kelly, the Canadian Red Devil, Jordan Jacobs, Kevin Morgan, Damon Windsor, Cody Jones, Copycat, and Bobby Starr. I ended up outlasting all of them and becoming the Impact Division champion for the first time, making me only the second grand champion in the history of IZW. I'm pretty proud of that.
That's fantastic. Now, what all titles go into the grand championship in IZW?
The tag team titles, which I've held 4 times with Montego Sika as part of the tag team Blackout. Not confused with the tag team Blackout that's on the East Coast currently. We had our own deal, didn't know about them. They didn't like us. I understand. But I held those 4 times. I am also a former IZW heavyweight champion, which I plan on winning back at Halloween Hangover, November 3rd, which all you fans can check out on Go Fight Live. Our Big Eye pay-per-view, and also now the Impact Division Championship, which is part of that Grand Championship, which I currently am in possession of.
All right. Well, there everybody knows that's the whole rundown on the Grand Championship, all the titles you need to win to be a Grand Champion in IZW. And if I may say so, it sounds a lot like the Triple Crown in baseball. You can't just lead in one category or two. You got to prove you're the leader in all 3 to get that established title around, your name, and everybody can look at you and say, Grand Champion, that's him.
Most definitely. I like the baseball reference, baseball playoffs going on, man. You're hip. You keeping it hip, man.
I'm trying to. I was watching the Tigers tonight clinch, and I don't know if there are any Yankees fans right now in the AngryMarks.com chat, but if they are, they're pretty sad that Yankees got swept 4 straight games. But it's like that when you're in the Impact Zone, too. Sometimes you just get so much momentum that nobody can stop you.
Man, all that money the Yankees spending and they're getting swept. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
And I know Peter's a baseball fan too, so surely he has a comment on that before we continue.
The only thing, I have some Yankees friends out there, and they were all complaining when Jeter snapped his ankle. And when that happened, I said, Tigers are going to sweep now. It's only a matter of time. And sure enough, they swept. So,
yeah, they did. And speaking of things that I hope Jermaine swept, I know you recently did a gut check challenge, so why don't you tell us how that went?
Yeah, I did gut check in June, and it was a pretty great experience. I got to meet some of the TNA roster that ran the seminar, Simon Diamond and Brian Hefner, and they taught me some things. They were very informative, and we had about 20 other people there, and I got to see what talent was actually striving to be better, and I got to see where I ranked there. I also recently had a WWE tryout when they came through Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I got to go with them, and that was a great experience with Matt Stryker and Ricardo Rodriguez and the Brooklyn Brawler all giving pointers in the locker room as well. They definitely support indie talent, which I did not suspect that was actually going to be the way it went down, but it really was. It was a great deal. I got to work a match with Titus O'Neil, which he is a very physical imposing fella, to say the least, which lets me know I need to hit the weight room just a little bit harder, but I'm willing to do that just to make a name in this biz.
Absolutely. And you're making a name by doing tryouts with both companies in a relatively short amount of time. There's not many people in the wrestling business that can say that. So, of the two experiences, do you rate one higher than the other, WWE or TNA?
I would have to, if I'm going to be honest with you, which I want to because I like you, I will definitely have to rank my WWE tryout as more of a positive experience. You just dealt with a wider range of people giving you information immediately and, letting me know exactly what they feel I need to do to become a better all-around performer. Things I'm already utilizing as I had that tryout the week before I became Impact Division Champion. But I plan on continuing to utilize what they've said and to keep learning and just becoming a better performer.
Absolutely. And you said you got in the ring with Titus O'Neil and that he's a physical specimen. I think we've seen that from watching him on TV. But what else can you tell us about working with Titus that we might not know?
I'm not sure if I can really shed any light on Titus O'Neil that he hasn't already expressed through his time through NXT and now SmackDown and Raw. He's a genuinely nice dude with a great personality, and he's always willing to help anyone who's willing to listen, and, as well as all of them. All of them, really, everyone on the WWE roster and the TNA roster for that matter. If you're striving to become better and you're willing to listen, they're immediately extending the wing and letting you get under it. Let you get under that learning tree, and they want to spread that knowledge. They don't want they don't want bad wrestlers around. So I was very thankful for the opportunity with both companies, and I'll continue to try to get in contact with both companies, and maybe one day you'll see me on there. But right now, you can see me on a pretty big stage as well.
That's right, because recently IZW signed a distribution deal that put them on 10 to 15 million homes on cable and satellite. So the audience to see you as the Impact Division champion is ever increasing.
Oh yeah, it was very shocking. I got on my Twitter at Jermaine about me. I know I'll get a chance to say that again, but I thought I'd throw that out right now.
As many times as you want.
Nope, thank you. I got on there and I was seeing the comments for people all around the nation. I was checking out IZW Redemption on the Comcast networks, all of them through the Bay Area and New England and Mid-Atlantic. They were all commenting and giving us feedback immediately, which is exactly what we were striving for. Hopefully we presented them with a good enough product that they'll join us the next time we have a broadcast on the Comcast network, which should be, from what I understand, Halloween Hangover, which I plan on having a major part in, so they'll get to see that firsthand.
Absolutely. It'll be a big event, and everybody will be excited to see it, whether they see it on Comcast or GoFightLive.tv, or even if they see clips up on YouTube after the fact. But they should be watching it live, whether they're in the Impact Zone or watching on GFL or Comcast, whatever they're going to do. Live is what we recommend, because you got to see Jermaine Johnson live. There's nothing that tops that.
Yeah, they should join the hype section as soon as possible, and as soon as possible would be live November 3rd, Halloween Hangover, where I defend the Impact Division Championship against Kyle Kelly, Bobby Starr, Jordan Jacobs, and Damian Morte, the former champions. They'll get to see firsthand that Jermaine Johnson does not play around, as Stevie and I assume Peter both know.
You do know it, Peter, right? He does not play.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay, as long as you know.
And all the listeners know, everybody at the AngryMarks.com/chat and listening on the replay on iTunes, they know as well. So we're making sure that people get informed. And if I can, I want to go back to Titus O'Neil for 1 second. Did you guys have an agent for that match, or did you just call everything on the fly in the ring?
It was all on the fly, man. It was, he snatched me up, wanted to go, and I was more than willing. And next thing you know, we were rocking, and 20 minutes later, we were done. And I was like, whoa, that really happened. It was just an all-around great experience. From watching them and like one day I'll be there to actually being there was unbelievable.
Now, how many people were watching while you were having the match with Titus? Was it like
Woo.
William Regal and Johnny Ace and people like that watching?
William Regal was, he wasn't president, neither was Johnny Ace, but, Finley was president, Matt Stryker, Cody Rhodes, a bunch of other roster members. The roster members that were around were kind of a blur because that would be quite nerve-wracking as it was already, but there was a few members on the roster that got to see it. Hopefully they had good things to say.
Yeah. Well, speaking of good things to say, that was my next question, actually, is what kind of feedback did you get from those guys after the match?
Oh, I got a lot of positive feedback letting me know that I'm doing about, I'd say, 80% of the things exactly right. So I'm going to continue to work on the 20, and hopefully people who check out IZW on GFL.TV or on the Comcast network or go back and watch us on YouTube, hopefully they'll get to see that I'm always striving to improve, and any feedback given to me that I applied immediately, because that's what it takes to become a better professional wrestler or sports entertainer, however you feel like calling it on whatever particular day you're calling it.
Well, we tend to call it professional wrestling first and foremost around here, but sports entertainer is fine too, because you have to have some personality and charisma. You can't just go out there and wrestle and not entertain the people. It has to be the complete package.
Oh, most definitely, and that's what I try to give fans every week inside the Impact Arena, which we carry on GFL.TV, as you've already mentioned. So I'll go ahead and beat that nail till it's gone. We're always on GFL.TV weekly, and we'll be on there again November 3rd for Halloween Hangover, and you will see the complete package in the leader of the hype section, Jermaine Johnson.
Absolutely. Now, I was talking to Drew Archer a little bit before we did the interview tonight, and he was saying to me that the last time we interviewed you, you were a little more on the cocky and bold side, and now you're a little more on the humble and righteous side. So how would you describe your personality, how it's evolved in ICW?
I think last time I talked to you, Drew Archer's right. He's my boy. He's always on the pulse of what's going on. And last time I talked to you, I was I think I'd been heavyweight champion the first time I talked to you for about a year. And, that had gotten to my head tremendously. And I had forgotten what actually got me to being heavyweight champion. I'm still cocky. I still believe in myself, which I feel every person should. But, I'm willing to take it in more. I'm willing to accept that it's not just all about me, as I used to say. That's why I call myself the leader of the hype section, because I get hyped now, and I have a section of the audience, a lot of the audience, I feel, that wants to get hyped with me, and I endorse that now. I embrace that. I call them the hype section, and they're really the foundation of where I stand right now. They've driven me to become heavyweight champion again. I'm a former two-time heavyweight champion, and I plan on winning a third at Halloween Hangover. They've also been by my side as I became Impact Division champion last week. Obviously, you can hear in my voice that I really care about the fact that I'm Impact Division champion. So that's based off the hype section 100%. So that's really where the transformations come.
Yeah,
you want to join the hype section?
Oh, I think I already am in it. If I'm not, please sign me up.
Ah, man, you're already signed up. You're good. I was just making sure.
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask a quick follow-up to you wanting to win the heavyweight championship again. Is there any rule in IZW that you can't hold, like, the Impact Division and the heavyweight title at the same time, or can you be a double title holder?
Ah, shoot. I plan on being a dual title holder. I don't know about the rules. They'll have to hit me with that after Halloween Hangover. My goal right now is to be the first person in history to hold both belts at the same time, to quote a famous philosopher by the name of Future. I plan on being Impact Division champion and IZW heavyweight champion at the same damn time.
Now, define the Impact Division title for our listeners who haven't been keeping up on GFL. Is it like a television title? Is it like a weight limit title? Make everybody know exactly what that title represents.
I think that title represents the heart and soul that is IZW. That's why I'm actually proud to hold it. It's actually the first title I wanted to hold upon coming to IZW, but I ended up going a different route with the tag partner and slipping in and winning a Monsters Bash, which gave me a guaranteed title shot at the Heavyweight Championship. So I ended up bypassing the Impact Division title as that step. But to me, it's actually like the first real step to proving you can be or should be worthy of the Heavyweight Championship. So anyone who gets that title, it's definitely proving ground that you're ready for the next level. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm showing everyone as Impact Division Champion that I'm one step away at any moment from being heavyweight champion. I get to actually focus on becoming heavyweight champion because at Halloween Hangover we featured the Monsters Bash, and this year is different from others where you would earn a title shot from winning the Monsters Bash. This year you become heavyweight champion if you become Monsters Bash, and that's why you hear me talking about both belts. But regularly being Impact Division champion is really stamping your mark that you're coming soon.
So it's like Impact, if it's the X Division title, say it would be equivalent in that if you hold that title, you can cash in. It's kind of like that. It's saying you're one step away.
Oh, definitely. I compare it to the X Division Championship, the Intercontinental Championship for WWE, the United States title for them and WCW. It's right on par with that. And you've got to bring it every night because there's more frequent title defenses, which also puts it on par from the old WCW Television Championship. But you have to bring it, and you're already proving that you've got it.
Well, speaking of bringing it, I know Peter's chomping at the bit to ask you a few questions, so I'm going to give him the office. Peter, you can go ahead.
Now, I'm wondering, you've been in wrestling for a while. What's your opinion on certain wrestlers when they win their first World Heavyweight Championship, that they change the belt to match their character?
I don't know. I guess on that tip, I'm more of a traditionalist. I like the standard heavyweight title. I actually hate the current WWE title that they have, which is John Cena's custom title, then kind of modified to become the WWE title. I don't really dig that, but, some people's characters are so big that they warrant that. And I guess it's kind of a catch-22 there. I appreciate it, yet, I don't really like it. It just kind of goes with it sometimes.
Now, speaking of championship belts, we'll use WWE or WCW as an example for this question, but of all the championship belts you've seen out there, which one is your favorite? I mean, if you had what's your favorite championship belt? I guess is the best way to say it.
I'd have to say the one Hogan introduced, the one that got retired with Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Eagle sort of gimmick that they had going. Yeah. That's the true representation to me as the heavyweight title. I don't really go with the big gold slut belt that's been a bunch of different things, because Ric Flair really proved that he brought that belt to WWE. He kind of dissed that belt because he wanted the big eagle. So my foundation of a wrestling fan really was able to appreciate that that's the belt you want.
Yeah, when I think Winged Eagle, I think of Bret Hart's reign as champion. That's the one I would love to get my hands on one day for sure. Actually,
with the Bret Hart situation, it's funny you asked that because I've been having a lot of conversations about him recently and where he ranks. I guess I've underappreciated what he did for the business, the fact that he opened up the doors for so many countries that WWE tours as of right now, like South Africa and a lot of overseas things. Bret Hart was the foundation for that. So it really makes me appreciate the draw he was as heavyweight champion now, more so than a lot of champions that in the past I would have put before him. You have to consider Bret Hart as one of the greatest top 5 wrestlers of all time with what he did for the company.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Canada. He's definitely top 5 in here, that's for sure.
I'm not sure there's a question of where he ranks there, but he's probably number one hands down there, as he should be, because he opened up that for WWE, and he did that a long time ago. But, when you think about what WWE was promoting when he was champion, how he was going in other places and becoming a real world champion, that's where they That's where they toured at and made a lot of their money and stayed afloat while they were losing to WCW. And that's where they're still going now and building upon. And that's because of Bret Hart. So he deserves that respect.
Now, staying on the Canadian tangent, tell me a little bit more about, I can't believe I'm going to say this, the Canadian Red Devil in IZW.
Canadian Red Devil is quite mysterious. I can't tell you a whole lot. I wish I could. He's a masked competitor, and he utilizes the sharpshooter, so I imagine he's a fan of Bret Hart. I don't know if he had formal training in the dungeon. I can't speak on that. But he's very unorthodox, which like most masked dudes are, and you'll have an opportunity to see him compete in the same Monsters Bash that I'll be in November 3rd on GFL.TV, since I'll go ahead and throw all that out there. But he was in the 10-man battle royal that I was part of, and I got the first cracks at him there. I know he throws with me right hand. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing. You'd have to tell me about that, Peter, being from there and all. Maybe he had some Molson in him. I'm not sure, but he was telling it, his right hand hurt. That's all I can say about the Canadian Red Devil.
So it's that powerlift training, lifting cases of beer, right, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Is Molson good? Because I'll try it, but I'm not sure if it's
Molson
good.
good? Oh, wow. We call American beer water up here. It's like Canadian beer is much stronger. It's good.
What point is it? Because the great legends of the past told me that I had to get down and learn how to drink. So what point is Molson? Is it 9 point? Are we dipping there?
You can go, I think normal Molson's around the same as a Budweiser, around 5. Molson does have some stronger ones at 6.5, 6.75. But at the beer store, it's actually called The Beer Store. You see beers 9, 9.5. Yeah, you see it for sure.
Okay. Well, I promise you, Peter, since I'm going to assume you have now registered and are a member of the Hive section, I will try Molson, and the next time I talk to you, I'll let you know if it's good or not. If I feel it's good or not.